awaiting the news headlines.
I don't want us to have it. I told you where the vehicle is.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us distance of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Now the news headlines. Planned commissioning of new Edo Line Transport Company suffers setback as Governor Okpebholo suspends commissioning in honor of late former President Muhammadu Buhari.
You can see the vehicles, they are lined up. I want to commend his efforts. With these vehicles now, transportation will be very cheap for our citizens.
Commission of a new Edo line. I think this is what the people need at this particular point in time. It's part of the promises that made by the governor when he was campaigning. I think he is a promise keeper. And with this, a new Edo line has been born.
Nigerians continue to speak on the legacy of late Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari.
Is one of the leaders of this country who ruled with integrity. Is on record that we, when we were much younger, we hear of why, we hear of war against indiscipline and all that. We grew up to know him for integrity, for staying and very principled man. He taught us what it means to be disciplined. He fought against corruption. And so for that, he will always be remembered.
The time when he entered, everything good. For I never increased.
He was a leader of this country. I don't really know how much impact he made, because he's not reflecting his time as a ruler. I don't see any changes in my life. I didn't see any true opportunities that we could cash in on.
Sir Dr. Lucky Esiegbe leads Victory Road walk in Jubilant Street of Irekpe to celebrate Okpebholo's Supreme Court triumph.
Let's work together. But at the end, but today, the apex court, which is the Supreme Court, has vindicated the matter. Monday, Okpebholo has been confirmed as the elected governor of Edo State.
We are happy. People are getting employed.
Everybody's happy because on that very day, under the rain, people came out to exercise their franchise. The court is saying no, you cannot steal that mandate and give to somebody else.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. My name is God's Gift Omone. Now the news in details. The inauguration ceremony of the new Edo Line buses, earlier scheduled for today, Monday, 14th July 2025, was cancelled as a mark of respect for the late former President Muhammadu Buhari, who died on Sunday. BeeTv News Osaruge Agwebo reports that some dignitaries who were already seated at the event before it was cancelled commended Governor Monday Okpebholo for reviving the state's transport service, noting that it would provide reliable, accessible, and affordable transportation and improve commuters' lives and boost the state's development.
The ultra-modern bus terminal at the Benin Central Park in Oba Karaye was a hive of activities as chieftain of the APC, different support groups and transport unions, market women converged for the inauguration of the new Edo Line air-conditioned buses parked ahead of the inauguration and commencement of operations. Citizens and residents who gathered to witness the inauguration said it was a new dawn for public transportation in the state, with the buses ready to hit the road. The various departments at the terminal, including the bus boarding area, were completely set and the drivers dressed in their uniforms ahead of the commencement of operations.
I don't understand them at all.
Some dignitaries at the inauguration ceremony will include former deputy governors of Edo State, Honorable Lucky Imaswe, and Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, Speaker Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, APC State Secretary, Engineer Lawrence Oka, former member representing Oredo Federal Constituency, Honorable Razak Bello Osegi, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Samsi Osegi, and his counterpart, Commissioner of Finance, Dr. Emmanuel Okwebo, commended Governor Monday Okpebulu for reviving the state-owned transport service, noting that it will serve as a reliable, accessible, and affordable transport services, thereby improving the lives of commuters and bringing more development to the state.
The venue, you can see the level of enthusiasm, happiness written on the faces of the masses, men, women, youth, the drivers, and the workers. You know, this is what is rightly described as dividend of democracy.
I am so excited and proud that Senator Monday Okpebolo, in less than 1 year, Edo Line is back to life, and we are here live to commission it.
You can see the vehicles, they are lined up. I want to commend his efforts. With these vehicles now, transportation will be very cheap for our citizens.
We thank God the day like this has come that Edo State is coming back to life. The governor has shown his commitment and resilience to ensure that Edo people smile again.
This is unusual. I want to commend the governor for what he has done. I think it aligns with the Edo Shine mantra for development in all the sectors.
Edo Line, which was celebrated all over the country as one of the best transport companies, have been missing. That Edo Line is coming back to life is an attestation to the forward-looking governor, Monday Okpebolo.
Commissioner of a new Edo Line. I think this is what the people need at this particular point in time. It's part of the promises that made by the governor when he was campaigning. I think he is a promise keeper. And with this, a new Edo Line has been born.
Meanwhile, the event, which was awaiting the arrival of Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebulu, a special guest of honor and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, and other top government officials to inaugurate the new Edo Line buses, was cancelled to honor late former President Muhammadu Buhari, who died on Sunday in London. Information revealed that a new date for the inauguration will be announced soon. The new Edo Line Transport Company is expected to provide transportation services from its ultramodern park in Oba Karaye, Benin City to Lagos, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Kaduna, Warri, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
In a mark of deep respect and national mourning, the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo, has announced the suspension of the commissioning ceremony of 102 ultra-modern buses acquired for the newly rebranded Edo Line Mass Transit Scheme. Governor Okpebolo stated that proceeding with the flag-off of the public transportation initiative at this time, following the unfortunate passing of Nigeria's former president, Muhammadu Buhari, would be insensitive and out of tune with the national mood. The governor extended his heartfelt condolences to the immediate family of the late president, the government and the people of Katsina State, and indeed all Nigerians who feel the weight of this monumental loss. He further expressed regret over the inconveniences caused to invited guests, dignitaries, stakeholders, and members of the public, who had looked forward to the event. He assured them that a new date for the commissioning will be communicated in due course. Governor Okpebholo reaffirmed his administration's commitment to providing reliable and people-centered public transportation and pledged that the Edo Line initiative will soon be operational to ease intra-urban mobility for Edo residents. Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, was Nigeria's president from 2015 to 2023. He also served as a military head of state between January 1984 and August 1985. On Sunday, July 13, 2025, the former president and military head of state passing was announced in a statement by his former special advisor, Garba Shehu, after he died in a clinic in London. In the special report, our senior correspondent, Best Orator, reflects on his life, times, and legacy.
Born on 17 December 1942 in Daura, Katsina State, Muhammadu Buhari was the 23rd child of his father, Adamu. He was raised by his mother following his father's death when he was about 4 years old. He began his education in Daura and Maiduguri between 1948 and 1952 and proceeded to Katsina Middle School in 1953 and later attended the Katsina Provincial Secondary School, now Government College, Katsina, between 1956 and 1961, earning the West African School Certificate. Mr. Buhari married Safina to Yusuf in 1971. The couple separated in 1988. In 1989, he married Aisha Halilu. He had 10 children from both marriages. Mr. Buhari was enlisted into the Nigerian Army in 1961 and trained at the Nigerian Military Training College, Kaduna, between 1962 and 1963. He attended the Moons Officer Cadet School in England and was commissioned on a second lieutenant in January 1963. He took the platoon commander's course in Kaduna between 1963 and 1964 and was appointed platoon commander 2nd Infantry Battalion in Abeokuta. Buhari's subsequent military training included Mechanical Transport Officer's course in UK 1965, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington in India 1973, United States Army War College between 1979 and 1980. During his career, Mr. Buhari held several key commands and political positions: military governor of the Northeastern State, Federal Commissioner for Petroleum Resources, Chairman of the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission, military secretary, and general officer commanding 2 key army divisions. The 1983 military coup saw General Buhari rise to the position of the head of state and commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. His regime as a military leader was renowned for instilling discipline among citizens, popularized by the war against indiscipline. He was in that position until August 1985, when Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida took over power. In 1994, Buhari was appointed as the executive chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund. Following Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999, Mr. Buhari joined partisan politics and emerged as a leading opposition figure. He first contested for the presidency in 2003 under the All Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), but lost to then incumbent Chief Olusegun Obasanjo of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Undeterred, he ran again in 2007 and 2011. In 2013, Mr. Buhari helped to form the All Progressives Congress through a merger of his party, the Congress for Progressive Change, with the Action Congress of Nigeria (ACN), NNPP, a faction of the PDP, and members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA). The newly formed APC then presented a more formidable and nationally viable platform. Mr. Buhari contested the 2015 election under the APC banner, campaigning on an anti-corruption and reformist message that resonated with Nigerians disillusioned with 16 years of PDP rule. His image as an incorruptible leader helped him secure a decisive victory on 28 March 2015, displacing incumbent ex-president Goodluck Jonathan. Buhari was sworn in as elected president on 29 May 2015, and the win marked a milestone in Nigeria's democratic setting, the first time a sitting president had lost out since the reinstatement of democracy in 1999. It also broke the then ruling People's Democratic Party's 16 years grip on power at the federal level.
Muhammadu Buhari of APC received 15,424,921 votes. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan of PDP received 12,853,162 votes. Muhammadu Buhari of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Protect and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Buhari's administration was marked by a campaign against corruption and an infrastructure driven. But critics accused the Buhari administration of targeting political opponents. Despite the influence that marked the presidential seat, ex-President Buhari maintained a low profile and believed that he was not in that position to amass wealth. In 2015, the former military general declared his assets, listing some farms, 5 homes, 2 mud houses, an orchard, and a ranch with 270 cows. Others included shares in 3 companies, plots of land in Port Harcourt and Kanu, and $150,000 in a personal bank account. Buhari was re-elected for a second term in 2019. His 8 years tenure was marked by efforts to combat corruption, insurgency, and infrastructural decay, although his administration faced criticism over rising insecurity, economic hardship, and human rights concerns. In February 23, 2019, the presidential poll conducted in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari won his re-election bid, polling 15,191,847 votes to defeat his closest rival, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, who polled 11,262,978 to lose the election with a margin of 3,928,869 votes.
APC 15,191,847. 15,191,847. PDP 11,262,978. 11,262,978. I, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, hereby certify that I was the returning officer for the presidential election held on the 23rd day of February 2019, that the election was contested, that Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared winner and is returned elected.
After a successful 8 years tenure on May 29, 2023, President Muhammadu Buhari handed over power to his party man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then retired to Daura, where he spent most of his time.
Through allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly, to the best of my ability and faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law.
The ex-president on Sunday, July 13, died at a hospital in London. This was announced in an official statement released by Buhari's former spokesman, Malam Garba Shehu. Former President Muhammadu Buhari's death marks the end of an era in Nigerian political and military history. Revered by supporters and criticized by detractors, his legacy remains one of the most quintessential in Nigeria's post-independence history. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his predecessors, including Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, and Ibrahim Babangida, have mourned the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari, praising his legacy of discipline, patriotism, and selfless service to the nation. The leaders described Buhari as a principled soldier, a dedicated public servant, and a symbol of national resilience, whose contributions will be remembered for generations. They prayed that Allah forgives his shortcomings. President Tinubu, in a statement he signed, said Buhari championed discipline in public service, confronted corruption head-on, and stood firm through the most turbulent times. He said the federal government would accord Buhari full state honors, befitting his towering contributions to our country. Tinubu said, President Buhari was to the very core a patriot, a soldier, a statesman. His legacy of service and sacrifice endures. He served Nigeria with unwavering dedication, first as a military leader from January 1984 to August 1985, and later as a democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023. Duty, honor, and a deep commitment to the unity and progress of our nation defined his life. Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived in London on President Bola Tinubu's directive following the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Shettima arrived in London on Monday morning in the company of the President's Chief of Staff, Femi Bajamila. He was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, and Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Communication, Stanley Iwonkocha, disclosed this in a post on Monday morning. Tinubu announced the passing of his predecessor, who died on Sunday in London at approximately 4:30 p.m. He directed Shettima and Bajamila to proceed to the United Kingdom to accompany Buhari's body back to Nigeria. Buhari, who was 82, served as Nigeria's democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023. He also served as military head of state between January 1984 and August 1985. Tinubu has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff as a mark of respect for the departed leader. Buhari's remains will be laid to rest in Daura on Monday, according to Islamic rites. States had, on behalf of the government and the people of Edo State, mourned the demise of former President Muhammadu Buhari, who passed away in a private hospital in London, England. In a statement released by his chief press secretary, Mr. Fred Itwa, Governor Okpebholo described the late former president as a true patriot, a disciplined leader, and a man of unwavering integrity, who dedicated his life to the service of Nigeria. He said late Buhari was a man of immense character, whose commitment to combating corruption and ensuring national security left an indelible mark on our nation's history. He served Nigeria with uncommon zeal and selflessness, and his legacy of probity and patriotism will forever be remembered. Governor Okpebholo highlighted former President Buhari's significant contributions to Nigeria's development, practically in the areas of infrastructure, agriculture, and the fight against insurgency. The governor extended his deepest condolences to the Buhari family, the government, and people of Katsina State, and indeed all Nigerians, during this period of immense grief. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo at the weekend received a heroic welcome at his ancestral community in Udomi, Eastern Central Local Government Area of Edo State, following the Supreme Court ruling affirming him as the duly elected governor of Edo State. The report.
Different groups of people came out in their numbers to receive their illustrious son, Governor Monday Okpebholo, after his victory at the Supreme Court. The governor, who spoke to party faithfuls, supporters, youths, market women, social-cultural groups, Udomi sons and daughters at Udomi Primary School, appreciated the people and Edo State in general for their support and prayers and for standing by him throughout the period of the election and during all the court cases, which ended at the Supreme Court as all the judges affirmed the mandate that they gave to him.
Our people, to tell them thank you for their prayers and their support throughout this period. Edo voted very loudly. One man was dragging us up and down. In all this, we won. The tribunal, I got 3/3 judges. No one could say you didn't win. The appeal, we got 3/3 judges. No one could say you didn't win. Now, the Supreme, which is the highest in the land, yes, 5/5.
Governor Okpebholo said now that the litigation was over, he was more focused on bringing development to the people of the state and to make life better for Edo people, promising transparency and accountability in governance. Okpebholo said it is a tough time for Edo people, but added that together the challenges will be surmounted.
It was a very taxing period for me and Edo people. So I have used this opportunity this time to tell our people thank you. Because of their prayer, this happened. They prayed for their son. And I also asked them to also continue to pray for the president.
Governor Monday Okpebholo was accompanied to his hometown by the Secretary to Edo State Government, Barrister Umar Musa Ihilo, State Acting Deputy Chairman of APC, Sylvester Agbobo, Commissioner for Finance, Emmanuel Okwebo, APC Edo Central Senatorial Leader General Sesi Eseka Egbe retired, top government functionaries, party supporters, amongst others. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Abattoir owners in Benin City, Mrs. Mabel Bello, and other orders have raised alarm over alleged seizure of their cows by one Mr. Sonny Omokaro, alleging that he disrupted business activities at the abattoir this morning. BeeTv News Efosa Priye reports that the traders stated that said Mr. Omokaro is carrying out these actions under the guise of an abattoir union, which has been disbanded by the state government.
Traders and abattoir owners at the Holy Ghost Abattoir Market in Igboba Slope and others, including the chairman of Bobizwa Abattoir, Mr. Idaru Odije, recently held a press briefing to address a viral video they allege that Mr. Sonny Omokaro is using talks to allegedly seize their cows under the guise of union, even after the state government has disbanded union activities. Mrs. Mibe Bello, owner of Holy Ghost Slaughter Igboba Slope, and others claim that Mr. Sonny Omokaro and his associates have been oppressing traders at the market, adding that their previous protests led to dissolution of union activities, which brought about peace to the various abattoirs. However, they allege that Mr. Omokaro recently reappeared with his group, seizing over 13 cattle claiming to have been restated by the governor.
We suppress this money again. Since when our government give us freedom, all of us dey freedom. We dey happy, we dey play. The butchers and the meat seller, we dey happy since then. This night again now, boys, they enter my slaughter this morning, they lose my cow. They lose almost 13 cow come out.
He has been using the government to threaten us that who disagree with him, we bring the slaughter down. No, No, the state government. It was using the governor power, state government power to treacherous us. One of the contention that we must obey our governor. The market people and the butchers, they are very happy since government make the announcement of disbanding of the union.
Last year November, now you come again as a national chairman. He say national chairman. We nobody voted to be our union chairman. National chairman. You know they go Abuja. You know they go other states. Now let this Edo state.
The affected traders and abattoir owners are appealing to Governor Ukpebolo and other relevant authorities for immediate intervention. They claim that they are being sabotaged by Mr. Sonny Omokaru.
Government, Edo State government, I beg una, make una save us for in hand. Make una save us. Make una save us. We see beg our Oba. Make it save us. Oba Bueki. Governor help us. As he talked before, say don't stop this Busha Union, Ifo Union. Make it stand for your word. Now we come back governor today. Make we forget peace as we get peace this when it takes stopper.
We are using this medium to beg with the state government to stand by their word. Because this is somebody they come at for night because they carry your cow. Now still it be that.
Vice Chairman of the Cattle Dealers Association in Enya, Alaji Issa Lawan, has stepped forward strongly denying claims that Mr. Sonny Omokaru has been restated as chairman of any abattoir union. He further appealed to the state government to wade into the matter and put a stop to the alleged extortion. Some of the buyers at the slaughter market explained their ordeal and how the new development has affected their business.
Where the governor talk, after gods, the government. But when these people they don't respect government, anything we want to do, we go do dealing with them to stop the things. Our market, you want to cut our market, we cannot agree. But they say, they collect 3,500,000 for our money. They come before you go allow small butcher to kick cow in Delhi. Later the day their money finish, you go see collect another money like that. We cannot agree. You want to cut our market.
Governor, don't give them freedom from junior. Meat they cheap for us, we they buy. But today now, when I come now, I not see meat buy. They say some people don't come lose their cow. Now he make meat no they grand. Now because of this money, this market, now I tell the train my picking. I not get husband again. No husband for me. Now let me come the train my picking they go. Now let me be papa. Now let me be mama. I beg, man, I beg government for us.
They are hoping for a quick intervention. Osaroge Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
And still in the spirit of celebrations, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Lucky Esiegbe, has taken to the streets of Irekpe in Esan West local government area of the state in a solidarity road walk to celebrate the reaffirmation of Governor Monday Okpebolo's win at the September 21st, 2024 governorship election by the Supreme Court. BeeTv News senior reporter Best Orator has details.
The streets of Irekme in Esan West local government area of Edo State was agog with celebrations as the people trooped out to celebrate the victory of Senator Monday Okpebolo alias Akpakomiza. The Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Sir Dr. Lucky Esegbe, alongside party faithfuls and lovers of the governor, embarked on a jubilation and solidarity walk in respect to the reaffirmation of the Supreme Court's ruling on the September 21st governorship election in the state, in which the governor defeated his closest rival of the PDP, Dr. Asuengo Dalo, a victory that both the Edo State Governorship Elections Petitions Tribunal, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court affirmed. The victory walk, which was led by the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, took place at Irekme in Esan West local government area as the air was agog with dancing and happy faces, all in agreement with the Apex Court verdict. Now that the opposition have nowhere else to turn to, the Supreme Court being the apex court in the land, the supporters called on Dr. Asuengo Dalo and the opposition party to work with Governor Monday Okpebolo for the development and progress of Edo State.
Let's work together. But at the end, but today, the apex apex court, which is the Supreme Court, has vindicated the matter. Monday, Okpebholo has been confirmed as the elected governor of Edo State.
We are happy everywhere. People are getting employed because everybody are excited.
Appreciate the electorate who voted our governor, Senator Mondo Okpebholo, to come and redeem Edo State. So Monday, Okpebholo is a man of people. Every man of people always succeed in any battle. The judgment they passed in Supreme Court. So that's why all of us were happy.
The Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Sir Dr. Lucky Esegbe, used the medium to thank the people of Edo State for the trust in Governor Monday Okpebholo as he calls for more support from the people to enable the governor continue to deliver the undiluted dividends of democracy to the people of Edo State.
Justice for Edo, this is justice for Nigeria, and of course this is justice for Senator Monday Okpebholo. Again, you can see the joy in everyone's face now. Everybody's happy. Because on that very day, under the rain, people came out to exercise their franchise. The court is saying, no, you cannot steal that mandate and give to somebody else. So today we are very happy. You can see the crowd that you have seen. This is more like a victory party that we have organized today. Come and tell our people that we have brought victory back home.
In a continued show of support following the Supreme Court's verdict, Sir Dr. Lucky Esegbe's Solidarity Walk through Irekwe stands as a symbol of unity and celebration among supporters and lovers of Governor Monday Okpebholo. As the atmosphere remains charged with optimism, the call for collective effort toward the progress of Edo State resonates more than ever. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
In show of gratitude, the National President Professional Drivers on Wheel, Comrade Adams Ehi, alias Shaba, has offered thanks to God following his recent appointment as the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Monday Okpebholo on transportation. The Thanksgiving service, which was held at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Cana Land Mega Parish, Province 6 in Benin City, had in attendance friends and well-wishers of Comrade Adams Ehi, to celebrate and thank God with him. The report. Pastor Henry Agado, taking his sermon from the book of Revelation 19 verse 8 and Genesis 18 verse 19, charged Christians to practice what is right always, which he said was the only way to please God. Encouraged believers to live their lives in accordance with the standard required of believers in Christ Jesus and to promote the kingdom of God here on earth.
How does this apply to us? 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. He said, you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, that you should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into where? Marvelous light, clean and what? White. For the fine linen is what? Is the righteousness of the saints.
With a heart full of joy and thanks, the National President Professional Drivers on Wheel and the SSA to Governor Monday Okpebholo on transportation, Comrade Adams Ehi alias Shaba, in company of wife, friends and well-wishers, danced to the altar to appreciate God for his recent appointment. In a remark, Comrade Shaba said he is thanking God for his faithfulness upon his life and above all his appointment by the state governor.
There's nothing else to say. I came with my team to return the letter of appreciation given to me by Governor Tomisota. That's how we are working. I believe when God does something for you, you thank him. God shout a thunder amen. A better amen for Jesus Christ.
Comrade Adams Ehi, while addressing journalists after the church service, said he is full of gratitude for his evolution, saying that it was God that made it possible. Hence, he was at the church to return thanks to God.
Thanksgiving is a popular something to those that appreciate what God do for them. So I don't want to be left out. When God do something for me, I don't want to be among those 10 lepers that God helped. One went to thank God. I come to church because I cannot take what God do to me to a club, because it's the Lord doing. I'm a full member of this church. So at this church, I believe they have been praying for me, even during the time of the election campaign and others.
I believe when the government come to board, he remember me. I have to bring the team back to God. It's not mine. It's God that holds the appointment. I return it to God so that it can be permanent with me.
Guests were later entertained at the Secretariat of the Professional Drivers on Wheel, where members of the association, friends and well-wishers were treated to a lavish reception. Comrade Adams Ehi, alias Shaba, was later joined by members of the association on the dance floor. Some well-wishers congratulated Comrade Shaba for the new status, saying he's a reliable fellow who is committed to the growth and development of the state. They also thanked Governor Monday Okpebholo for finding him worthy for the appointment.
We are here to celebrate with our friend, our brother, our very own Comrade Shaba on his appointment as SSA to the Governor on Transportation. We are also, as the national president of Drivers on Wheel, to celebrate with him.
He's appreciating God for the good thing the Lord has done in his life. My prayer for you is that God Almighty will continue to bless you, uphold you, help you, strengthen you, and protect you.
What God has done for us in this 2025 is a big miracle. I thank Monday Okpebholo that gave my president, Comrade Shaba, this work, so I will carry boys and carry the youth along. So I think the governor is trying for us because he has created work for the youth. If you can see, there are youth here celebrating, thanking God for what God has done for us. Today is our Thanksgiving.
We are here to celebrate with our president, we the professional drivers on Wheel, to celebrate with our president, Comrade Adams Shaba, for the appointment that the Edo State government give to him. Senator Monday Okpebholo, we really appreciate.
I give God the glory for what God has done for us, for what Monday Okpebholo has done for us today. God for carrying work to my husband's work. I congratulate Monday Okpebholo for what he has done. We are celebrating with thanksgiving for what he has done.
We are happy to thank God, APC, and also thank the governor, Monday Okpebholo, for giving us this work. So we are returning all the glory back to God.
On his part, Comrade Adams Ehi appreciated everyone who have joined him in celebration and expressed gratitude to Governor Monday Okpebholo for the confidence he possesses in him.
I feel happy now. I feel good because it is not easy. There was a lot of challenge and God made it possible. Even as the sound, some people are giving me grace. We thank God for the wiseness of our governor and for the wisdom he gave to me to follow the people. I'm very happy. I don't have anything to say. And I'm happy that I take the happiness to the altar of God. Okpebholo gave me an appointment and returned it back to God. Because it happened because it's possible by the grace of God. So I have to give it back to God so that God will protect me and direct me so that I will not make a mistake. So you can see everybody's happy with me. The people that come to celebrate me, I wish them celebrate to not so depart in their life.
Comrade Adams Ehi is one of the many others that have been appointed by Governor Monday Okpebholo. Gosgift Omone reporting for BeeTv News. City Edo State share their opinions on the former president's past administration. The report. The nation was thrown into mourning over the demise of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, taken to the streets of Benin City, Edo State, where residents shared their thoughts and opinions about the past administration of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, as some applauded his administration style from his military regime down to his civilian leadership.
He's one of the leaders of this country who ruled with integrity. He's on record that when we were much younger, we hear of war against indiscipline and all that. We grew up to know him for integrity, for staying and very principled man. He taught us what it means to be disciplined. He fought against corruption. And so for that, he will always be remembered.
When he was a head of state, as at that time, his government was very, very proactive, was very, very disciplined government. When you talk of a discipline, so when he was a president, what was his achievement? What was his things that we had done? He have the good and the bad. But when you check it properly, you see that the good is outweigh the bad.
The time when you enter, everything good. For I never increase.
In a counter view, some residents who are still not happy with the past administration of Muhammadu Buhari said the diseased former president's administration stated what they described as the current hardship in the country.
He was a leader of this country. I don't really know how much impact he made, because it's not reflecting his time as a ruler. I don't see any changes in my life. I didn't see any true opportunities that we could cash in on.
He didn't, what he put on, what he left behind, if he's truly dead, what he left behind is corruption.
Buhari left Nigeria worse. He contributed in a very large extent to how much deterioration Nigeria, is in today. And so, particularly on my own side, I will not miss him because he had a chance twice. He came once, he made a mess, then he had another chance to do it again for another 8 years, and he made it another complete mess.
While opinions remain divided, one thing is clear: the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari has reopened conversations around his legacy, leadership style, and the long-term impact of his policies. As the nation mourns, Nigerians continue to reflect on the highs and lows of an era that shaped the country's democratic journey. Gosgift Omone reporting for BeeTv News. The ruling All Progressives Congress APC has shut down its Buhari House, National Secretariat, to mourn Sunday's passing of Nigeria's former President Muhammadu Buhari. The APC headquarters is officially named after the former leader. Party spokesman Felix Moka, in a statement, said the All Progressive Congress APC announced the closure of its National Secretariat in Abuja in honor of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. He said, directed by the acting national chairman of the party, Honorable Bukada Lori, the party's national secretariat will be closed starting Monday, July 14th, and will reopen on Thursday, July 17th, 2025. He urged party faithfuls to use this period of national mourning for quiet reflection and prayers for the repose of the soul of our departed leader. Buhari died at 82 in London on Sunday after an undisclosed illness. The push to amend Nigeria's 1999 constitution continues with growing calls for reforms that reflect the country's diversity and evolving realities. In Kaduna State, the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the Constitution held its Northwest Zonal public hearing, centered a drawing participants from Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, and Katsina states.
Citizens, civil society groups, traditional rulers and government representatives turned out in numbers to make their voices heard on issues ranging from resource control and state creation to security and gender inclusion. The governors of Kaduna and Kano states were represented by their deputies. Kaduna renewed calls for more control over resources within state boundaries, while Kano supported the creation of a new state and 26 additional local councils.
States must be empowered not only to legislate on local matters, but to control and benefit more directly from the resources found within their jurisdictions, while making constitutionally defined contributions to national development. Fiscal federalism is not a concession, it is a constitutional imperative.
Cognizance of the burgeoning population of Kano State, its landmass, concomitant demands and requirements for improvement in social well-being and equitable development.
Katsina and Jigawa states emphasized the need for power devolution, physical federalism, and stronger institutions to deepen democratic governance.
We support
such traditional institutions be granted defined roles and responsibilities, enabling them to contribute effectively within the security and governance framework.
Well, if you know this state very well, the people from the southern part of the state have not had it good, except during Obasanjo and now, you understand. So I would prefer we have the new Gorara state for development and other things.
All 4 states voiced support for the establishment of state police to tackle insecurity using local intelligence. They also endorsed the reservation of seats for women in elective and appointive positions. While some stakeholders supported the creation of new states, others expressed concern about its implication. In a firm position, organized labor warned the National Assembly against removing labor matters from the exclusive to the concurrent legislative list, insisting that such a move could weaken workers' rights as constitutional reform talks eat up across the country. One thing is clear: the 1999 Constitution is no longer seen as sacrosanct, and Nigerians are demanding a document that truly serves their future. Osarogie Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission will commence nationwide continuous voters registration (CVR) from August 18, 2025. The exercise, according to INEC Resident Electoral Commission (REC) for Benue State, Professor Sam Egwu, is part of preparation for the 2027 general elections. Professor Egwu, who made this known on Monday in Makurdi, explained that the CVR exercise was in line with constitutional provision to accommodate those who had attained 18 years after the previous election. He disclosed that the exercise would take place in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, stressing that it would commence with the online pre-registration, which will be done through the INEC website. According to him, the online registration will be followed by the in-person registration in all INEC area offices nationwide and other designated centers starting from August 25, 2025, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. each day from Monday to Friday. The REC emphasized that the exercise would address issues regarding inclusion of fresh persons who are not in the existing register as a result of turning 18 and above after the 2023 general election and were not able to register before because they were not in the country, in prison, or were not interested. The Church of Nigeria, the Anglican Communion, has officially drawn the line between faith and politics. They have now barred politicians and government officials from speaking at their pulpits during church service. This move was announced on Saturday, and it followed public backlash over a fiery political speech that was delivered by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike at a served Sunday service in Abuja's All Saints Anglican Church. Now Wike has used the sacred platform to lash out at his critics and flex his political muscle, and that was an act that many people saw as a step too far for church. The church is now saying that enough is enough. In a strongly worded directive, church leadership declared that consecrated places such as the lantern, pulpit, and altar are strictly reserved for worship, scripture readings, and sermons by ordained ministers only. No exceptions, unless of course cleared by church authorities. Now, while the Anglican Church affirms its responsibility to pray for and engage with leaders on issues of justice and governance, it's made one thing clear: the pulpit is not a podium for propaganda. Now, this directive signals a shift that many congregants have long called for, keeping the Christian sanctuary sacred and politics in the public square where it belongs. Now, we cannot deny that politics and the church have always intersected. The church does not have a duty to speak on good governance and justice and peace. However, it's important that they do not allow themselves to be used as a political tool. And now to the business world, where the Federal Inland Revenue Service has announced a 2-day national conference aimed at addressing illicit financial flows and tax evasion in Nigeria, scheduled for July 2022, is themed Combating Illicit Financial Flows, strengthening Nigeria's democratic resource mobilization. The conference is expected to gather policymakers, tax administrators, anti-corruption bodies, law enforcement agencies, financial experts, and international stakeholders to develop practical strategies to curb IFFS and enhance revenue generation. Let's now join BeeTv News Faith Ojo for details and more from the business world.
Financial flows, including strengthening compliance systems, enhancing transparency in beneficial ownership, and applying advanced technology to detect tax evasion and trade mispricing. The service has also initiated capacity building programs to equip its personnel to identify and curb illicit financial flows, particularly from multinational corporations. As part of an institutional effort, FIRS has established the Proceeds of Crime Management and Illicit Financial Flows Coordinating Directorate. This initiative is aligned with broader federal government framework, which includes an interagency committee on stopping illicit financial flows, comprising FIRS, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, EFCC, ICPC, Customs, CBN, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. The United Bank for Africa PLC hosted its quarterly business series event themed Stronger Together, Building Powerful Businesses Through Partnerships, focusing on the strategic role of value-based collaborations in scaling micro, small, and medium enterprises, held at UBA House in Lagos. The session brought together entrepreneurs from various sectors, including fashion, beauty, real estate, and media. The event addressed how strategic, non-transactional partnerships foster growth and long-term sustainability for businesses. The section also highlighted the importance of setting clear operational boundaries, verifying business opportunities through due diligence, and shifting focus from superficial visibility to impact partnerships that support development, logistics, and brand alignment. Industry stakeholders and oil marketers have expressed support for the potential sale of privatization of Nigerian state-owned refineries, Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, following persistent underperformance despite substantial rehabilitation investment. The support follows comments by the Group CEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bayo Ojulari, who indicated that ongoing reviews may lead to the investment due to the facility's obsolescence. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, an energy economist, expressed the need for transparency, accountability, and inclusive engagement with key industry players. Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owner Association of Nigeria maintained that privatization remains the most viable option given the refinery's long-standing inefficiencies. The association, however, warned against turning the process into a politicized exercise and called for results from earlier investigations into refinery maintenance spending. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria also emphasized that years of financial mismanagement and failed turnaround maintenance projects had rendered the assets unproductive, urging the federal government to either rehabilitate or privatize them. Data indicates that the government had invested over $2.8 billion in refinery rehabilitation efforts since 2021, including $1.4 billion for Port Harcourt, $897 million for Warri, and $586 million for Kaduna. However, the refineries remain non-operational. Experts have called for alignment with Petroleum Industry Act 2021 and warned against sentiment-driven decisions. While recognizing the challenges with state ownership, they argue that inefficiencies stem more from poor governance and institutional weaknesses from public sector management alone. With expiration of the Central Bank of Nigeria Capital Restoration Plan deadline, financial analysts project that commercial banks may adopt more conservative lending strategies in the short term. The plan is aimed at ensuring full regulatory compliance and restoring capital adequacy within the banking sector. As part of the transitional measures, the CBN has temporarily lifted the cap on additional Tier 1 capital recognition in capital adequacy ratio calculations between June 30, 2025 and March 31, 2026. This is intended to support capital buffers during recapitalization without replacing long-term planning. Analysts have warned that although the policy may slow credit expansion temporarily, it is expected to improve risk management and investor confidence in the long run. The increased transparency and capital discipline are projected to enhance market valuation of Nigerian financial stocks. Banks had previously benefited from relaxed regulatory frameworks, including single obligor limit waivers during the COVID-19 period. The capital restoration effort is part of a broader recapitalization program already underway across the banking sector, with several banks raising capital through market-based strategies. Analysts believe that once concluded, the process will strengthen the financial system and enhance regulatory compliance. BeeTv News, Faith Ojo reporting.
Martins Vincent Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, has expressed regret over his previous allegations against music executive Jude Okoye concerning singer Cynthia Morgan. Also, Blessing CEO attributes modern marital failures to independence and social media. The reports. At a recent event, Very Dark Man approached Okoye to discuss the long-standing dispute involving royalty payments and the ownership of Cynthia Morgan's stage name. During their discussion, Okoye presented a 2016 video in which Cynthia Morgan introduced her new stage name Madrina, contradicting her earlier claim that Okoye had prohibited her from using it. Okoye also provided financial records indicating that Morgan's total royalties since her breakout year amounted to $3,860. He stated that the contractual agreement between them was prepared by Morgan and her manager, and he only signed it. After reviewing the evidence, Very Dark Man admitted he had been misinformed and expressed regret for publicly confronting Okoye. He suggested that Cynthia Morgan should issue a public apology to Okoye for the reputational damage caused by her social media allegations. In another development, relationship therapist Blessing Okoro, popularly known as Blessing CEO, has stated that modern marriages are increasingly unsuccessful due to excessive communication outside the relationship and widespread social media use. In an interview with Instablog TV, she highlighted the decline of traditional community support systems that previously played a role in resolving marital issues. She also noted that increased independence and exposure among women can create difficulties in balancing their personal empowerment with relationship dynamics. She emphasized that once a woman begins to compete with her partner or asserts dominance, it may prompt the man to withdraw or seek companionship elsewhere. Drake's headline performance on the final day of his 3-night residence at London's Wireless Festival concluded prematurely, lasting only 40 minutes. The artist took the stage 10 minutes ahead of schedule, aiming to maximize time before the venue's strict 9:30 curfew. However, the abbreviated performance included only 3 guest appearances, Popcorn, Rema, and Vybz Kartel, compared to the 13 or 6 featured guests on Saturday and Friday, respectively. His performance opened with an unreleased collaboration with Central C, who was present in the audience but did not join on stage. The set featured updated versions of popular songs such as Controller, Find Your Love, and One Dance, though their new arrangements made audience sing-along difficult. Despite Rema's performance of Calm Down and Fever receiving positive reactions, the set ended quickly after a brief appearance by Vybz Kartel. Drake concluded his show by ascending a crane while Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You played, signaling the end of the night. Amaya Espinal and Brian Arenellis have emerged as the winners of Love Island USA Season 7, securing the $100,000 prize. The couple triumphed over finalists Chris Seeley and Honda Mustafa, Nick Van Steenberg and Hollandia Katin, and Jose Pape, Gracia Gonzalez and Israel Kendall. In the show's final twist, Brian was given the option to keep the full prize or share it with Amaya. He chose to split the winnings. Amaya, a 25-year-old content creator from New York, and Brian, a 28-year-old accountant from Boston, formed a connection late in the series. They declared their relationship exclusive during their final dates in the villa. Both winners stated their intention to donate a portion of their prize to charity, with Brian specifically mentioning support for mental health awareness as a cause close to him due to his personal experiences. This season of Love Island USA, broadcast on Peacock, has been the network's most streamed reality series. However, it also faced controversy related to online harassment. The show issued a statement denouncing cyberbullying after several contestants were subjected to abuse on social media. And that is it from the entertainment world. Gosgift Omone reporting for BeeTv News.
The high-stakes encounter, which will determine a semi-final spot, is slated for Friday at the Stade Labi Zouali in Casablanca, Morocco's capital. The Copper's Queen boasts to fearsome forward in their ranks, the prolific Richard Kundanajina and their inspirational captain Barbara Banda. Madugu remains resolute, asserting his team's readiness for the challenge. The 9-time WAFCON champions were headed to a disappointing 0-0 draw by Algeria in their final group game in Sunday night. Despite coach Madugu making as many as 8 chances to his starting lineup, the West African giants were widely expected to comfortably dispatch their North African opponent. Paris Saint-Germain 2024-2025 season concluded on Sunday, with the players heading off for their summer break. Manager Luis Enrique granted 3 weeks of vacation to Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Vitinha, Goncalo, Ramos and the rest of the squad. They are scheduled to return for medical examinations on August 4th, with the first training session taking place the following day. The UEFA Super Cup against Tottenham, winners of the UEFA Europa League, on August 13th in Udine. They are scheduled to return for medical examinations on August 4th, with the first training session taking place the following day. Transfer markets have placed Nigeria below countries like Japan, Serbia, and Morocco in their list of most vulnerable nations. Despite a proud footballing legacy and a growing crop of elite talent, Nigeria has been ranked outside the top 20 most valuable football nations in the world. According to Transfer Market latest global valuation data, the Super Eagles, led by star striker Victor Osimhen, fall short behind emerging football powers like Morocco, Japan, and Serbia. Nigeria's national pool of players has landed them in 22nd place on the list of the most valuable football nations in the world. The tennis world number 1 fears criticism ahead of the Wimbledon men's single final against Carlos Alcaraz, which he later won in 4 sets. Some fans weren't happy to see the world number 1 competing at Wimbledon. After his convincing victory over Novak Djokovic on Friday, Italian tennis star Jannik Sinner set his sights on his first Wimbledon title he ultimately secured, adding to his collection of Grand Slam trophies. And that's it on Sport News. Tonight's Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.